to another segment of Keep It Real with Coldwell Banker EvenBay Real Estate. Today we have our new financial guru, Marcus Hernandez, with Cabot Family Office. Tell us a little bit about Cabot Family Office.
Well, first off, Mike, thanks for having me.
Cool.
This is exciting. Cabot Family Office. So we are a family office here in the Warren, Mahoning County area.
Mm-hmm.
Family office, basically Cabot Family Office, our initials is CFO. So we want to be your family's CFO.
So more than just a financial advisor, the big picture.
Exactly. So more than just your financial advisor, we don't want to just simply babysit your assets. Our job is to, yes, manage your assets, but also come to, just like the CEO when he has a plan of attack for the business, he walks down the CFO's office and says, hey, listen, how are we going to finance this? How are we going to pay for that? How are we going to deal with these issues?
Life planning.
The CEO's in charge, that's our client, and we're their CFO.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, a topic I want to pick your brain about today, real estate market, as I'm sure you know, is an absolutely crazy.
Right.
All right. Multiple offers, way over asking price. But I tell you what, for the first time, and I've been doing this over 25 years, one thing that I've seen that is just baffles me, and I want your thoughts on cash offers.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I mean, I don't know where the cash is coming from. We can talk about that a little bit too.
Yeah.
But these cash offers, and boy, you hear the saying, cash is king. Well, in negotiating offers right now, it's kind of been the case. But I can't stop but seeing all these multiple offers, and we're talking about large dollar amounts.
Yeah, sure.
2, 3, 4, 5, $500,000 cash offers, and I don't know. My thought every time I keep seeing this, money is so cheap. Is this really the best avenue for people to be pulling? I don't know where they're pulling the money from. I have some ideas I'll share.
Sure.
But what's your thoughts on somebody paying cash when money is so cheap out there?
Well, I don't love it, obviously.
Okay.
Why would you put money to work someplace where your hard-earned money, where you can borrow the bank's money for almost free, historically speaking, and put that to work.
Exactly.
And keep your money working for you. So that is part of what we do here, is coming up with innovative ideas, things that aren't new, but bringing these ideas to our clients. And so some of them are things like building out lines of credit on portfolios of assets. So basically what that means is any stock portfolio in particular, but you can do these on other assets. You can do these on, if you have a big art collection, or if you have a big jewelry collection.
So not just your financial portfolio.
Even if you have large business assets, that you have a large stake in a huge business, you don't want to sell it, but you want liquidity to go out and maybe put a cash offer on a business or a house or whatever the case may be, whatever you're buying, through huge banks.
Yeah, compared to, people, I don't know if they're just taking it, they're cashing in their stocks or their 401ks, but with as volatile as the market is right now, if that's what they're doing, they find their dream house, and mom or dad or grandma or or whoever's doing this, they might be faced with cashing in something at a low right now, which could be disastrous.
Sure. One of the problems with I see this happen a lot. We'll sit down and have a conversation, and we have this large 401k balance. Now, that strategy I just talked about, if it was a 401k, you can't use 401k assets to do a line of credit. They'd have to be non-retirement assets, first off. But I see it all the time. I've got $700,000, $500,000 in my 401k. I could borrow half of it. But here's the issue, and it comes down to an education that unfortunately most people just don't know about. And again, our job is when you borrow from your 401k like that, you've got to pay back that cash. Now, mind you, the interest that you're paying back goes into your account. So you're the bank, you're paying yourself the interest. But the issue is you're using after-tax dollars in your paycheck to pay that back. So it is costing you a doggone fortune to pay that money back.
You're getting kind of double down there.
So, you can look at other ways of getting that cash. And some of these lines of credits, when you're talking about $500,000 or more, you're well below 3%.
And it still positions you as, cash is king. So you can still kind of, more or less negotiate and say, hey, I'm making a cash offer.
It's a cash offer.
Close. When I say cash, quick story, when I mean cash transaction, people, people, we're not talking about showing up at title companies with a bag full of money.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yes.
Nowadays we have
You
technology.
have stories like that.
Oh no, I have stories. Trust me. People have showed up at a title company. This was a long, long time ago, and Marcus, they had a suitcase full of money, cash money. Open up, the title attorney's like, okay, we can do this, and starts counting.
But you can't do that today.
Oh well, and I still am asked that. Believe it or not, people mention it's like, hey, can I show up with cash? I'm like, you need to talk to the title attorney. I mean, let's face it, it's all regulated. Nothing's going under the table nowadays.
Right.
A lot of what I see too is some of these large dollar amounts, and the buyers are not. I mean, they're younger buyers, and I just. I want to surmise that maybe they don't have this type of portfolio, but they're maybe getting it from mom and dad or grandma and grandpa. And, boy, there's nothing, when you're talking about mom and dad or grandparents, right now, they're probably willing to do anything to get that young family member who's having the children back to our area.
Sure, absolutely.
And it's got to be putting them, so it could still be structured the same
exact way. So yeah, you've got a mom and dad or a grandma and grandpa that have a large enough chunk of assets. We can absolutely structure that in such a way that now grandma and grandpa, they've got that Microsoft stock from 30 years ago. They never want to sell it.
Yeah.
By the way, quick story. This is kind of interesting.
All right, cool.
So if you look at it, you see them all the time on TV. You got the Jeff Bezos and the Elon Musks, all these billionaires. I mean, it's almost not even billion. One of them is going to become a trillionaire at some point in our lifetime, I believe. But and you hear about how they don't pay all that much in taxes.
Asset rich.
This strategy right here is what they do. They go out, they go to a Goldman Sachs, which, by the way, we could use whenever the heck we want, and go to a Goldman Sachs and they say, hey, listen, I'm going to put $1 billion of my stock up as collateral. I want a line of credit for $100 million or $500 million, whatever they need to fly their spaceships or do this or do that. It's a non-taxable event. So what does that mean to grandma and grandpa that is trying to lend their grandkids enough cash to buy this house in the area? Yeah. What that means is now we don't have to sell that Disney stock that they bought back in the 70s.
Which could be at the very lowest at the time.
Which it certainly was.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you've got this huge taxable event. Grandma and grandpa or mom and dad or whoever's doing this now has to pay a fortune in taxes to make this happen.
And they just don't have to.
We can look at these types of structures, and then now all of a sudden, then what do? You get the yes, right? You go in, you say, yeah, I'll give you $350 for the house, and you get the keys. So now what do? You can pay back grandma and grandpa.
Yep.
You just go and do a traditional loan on your house. Yep. You cash that money out, you hand it back to grandma and grandpa, and we're done.
And that may be what they're doing now, but they're probably not doing it the right way with the right products.
Absolutely.
All right. This is great information. I'm sure this has been useful because I've been seeing it more than I've ever seen it before. I think people really, it's okay to position yourself, but let's do it, let's do it smart and wise. We can do it, just like the big guys, but at a smaller scale.
Absolutely.
So this is great information.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you back. I don't know, bring up some topics.
Would love
to.
to.
Tax season's right around the corner. I'm sure you probably have some advice there, right?
Absolutely. Right. A lot of tax planning issues right now. So yeah,
awesome.
Would love to.
So, for any financial needs and home management, here's your guy. And call a Coldwell Banker EvenBay Real Estate for all your real estate needs.